Hello, my name is Rani. In this video, I will tell you how you can extend your house under permitted development rules in England. What is permitted development? These are a set of rules fixed by the local government that allow you to extend, increase, and alter your house without the need to apply for a formal planning permission from your local council. So that's one less pain in the neck for your renovation project. But listen to the experienced professionals when they ask you to seek permission, get prior approval, or obtain a lawful development certificate for the construction of your extension, even if you think that your extension is under permitted development rules. Why? This will reduce your headache while selling your house because you will have all the correct papers to hand. It will remove any anxious involvement with your local council in case one of your alert neighbors complains to them about your extension. And most of all, it will keep you above board and legal at all times. I shall abbreviate permitted development to PD during this talk, so I fumble less. And in this short talk, I'm going to cover terraced and semi-detached houses and how you can extend them at the rear or the back of your property at the first floor level. So this is our topic for today, permitted development rights for householders. Now let's quickly look at the houses that I'm going to cover. What are terraced houses? Houses that share both their side walls with other houses. If you see in this sketch here, so I'm talking of this house in the middle between these two red lines. It shares its sides immediately with other neighbors. So terraced houses are like sandwiches. Semi-detached houses. They share one wall with their immediate neighbor. So if you look in this photograph here, this house on the right hand side is attached to its neighbor on this side, and the other side is free. And that's why they are called semi-detached houses. Now that you're sure what type of house your property is, there are some other conditions attached to your house that you need to be clear about. Please check that your house is not a part of any of these conditions that have just bounced on your screen. Your house should not be a listed building. It should not lie on Article 2 land, that is areas of outstanding natural beauty, conservation zones, etc. It should not have an Article 4 direction implemented on it, because that is going to restrict any PD extension on your property. It should not be a converted house from any previous use, and it should not be a new dwelling. And most of all, it should be a house, by which I mean it should not be a flat or a maisonette. How can you find if this applies to your house? Check your property deed papers, do an online search with your postcode in it, or ask your appointed architect or designer. Check all the three headings in the orange semicircle at the top of your screen before you listen further. Now let's see what you can extend on the first floor of your house, at the rear or the back of your property. We always recommend that you apply for prior approval or obtain a lawful development certificate, which is abbreviated to LDC here. The maximum depth of extension on the ground floor and the first floor of your rear extension should be 3 meters, no more. And the depth of your extension should be measured from the original wall of your house as it stood on July 1st, 1948. So how do you measure that? If you look at the sketch here, this blue box is your original house. So you measure from the rear wall of that house. And this gray box here is your proposed extension on the ground and the first floor. You measure to the external wall of that extension. And this should be 3 meters and nothing more. The other important point is you can cover only 50% of the rear garden or open area available to you. So for example, let's talk in numbers. If your rear garden is 100 square meters in area, your built-up rear extension, the footprint of your built-up rear extension can only be 50 square meters. But if you already have an outbuilding or let's say a B&Q shed, then you must add that area to your total area as well. And let's say that's 10 square meters of shed area you have. So your proposed extension will now only be 40 square meters. because it has to be either equal to half or less than the total rear garden area available to you. Another very important point is this two-story extension, ground and first rear extension, this two-story extension should not fall within 7 meters of the rear boundary wall of your property. So if you look at this sketch here, and this is the rear boundary wall, is the plot boundary, which is opposite the rear wall of your house. So these black boxes are the plot boundary. These yellow boxes are your original house, and these small gray rectangles are what you propose to extend on the ground floor and the first floor of your house. So the distance between the rear wall of your extension and your rear boundary wall should be a minimum of 7 meters. It cannot be less than 7 meters. If your house already has an existing single story ground floor rear extension that was not a part of your original house. So let's see, this was your original house in blue. At the bottom, you see at the ground floor, there was an extension which was not a part of your original house, but was made later. It could have been made by a previous owner, so please be careful of that. So if this is the case, then, and your extension at the ground floor is more than 3 meters deep, in this example, it is 4 meters deep, then it would not be possible to add an additional first floor on top of it under the PD rules. So this action of putting a 3-meter first floor extension above the ground floor extension that you see here is not possible. So please be very careful if you're planning such an extension under PD rules. Now let's talk about the roof. The maximum ridge, the ridge is the highest point of your sloping roof. So the maximum ridge of your extension roof should be lower than that of your existing roof ridge. So this blue again is your original existing house. This tip here that you see, the top tip, is the roof ridge of your existing house. And this gray bit here is your extension on the ground and the first floor. So what you have to make sure is that the top bit of your sloping roof of your extension is lower than your existing top tip of your roof. And the eaves of your house, so they are the lowest points of your sloping roofs are called eaves. So just make sure that your proposed eaves of your extension are lower or equal to, they should not be higher than the existing eaves of your roof. Now another important thing is the pitch or the slope. So the pitch is literally the slope, the angle between this sloping and this horizontal line. This angle is the pitch or the slope of your roof. They should be similar between the existing and what you're proposing. So take care of that. Now we come to windows. If you are adding windows on the first floor side wall, look at this sketch for example, this pink shaded area is your rear extension. And if you're adding a window here in the side wall of your rear extension, then this window must be obscure glazed, which means you cannot use clear glass. It should be frosted. And this window that you're inserting should be fixed till 1.7 meters from the internal first floor level. And above 1.7 meters, you can make this window openable like a ventilator. Why is this? This is to avoid peeping Tom behavior and maintain neighborly love with your neighbors. No balcony. You cannot build any balcony which is protruding or extending forward from the new or your old external walls. But Juliet balconies can be installed. This is proof that love triumphs sometimes. And remember, the materials used on your external walls of your proposed extension should be similar to that to those materials which are already existing on your site, which are already there on your house. Now on your screen is a summary of what I told you, of what you can extend on the first floor of your house. Keep in mind all of these points, and for more detail, go to the planning website, the link for which is provided in the description box below the video, and go there and have a thorough look, or ask your appointed designer or architect who will already have a very good idea of what you can do to improve your house. In my other videos, I have shown you how you can extend your house on the ground floor, on the sides, on the roof, under PD rules. Till I see you again, if you do not have a designer working with you, then let your imagination run wild. so your local council can tame it for you. Thank you.